still gloating over all that's yours?
It's just taking Peggy for a walk. Thought it might work up her appetite. She's been off her food lately.
This is the new Kim, is it? Kind to animals and small children. Well, you don't fool anybody, you know.
I don't need to. I don't care what you all think of me.
That isn't true, is it, Kim? You see, you might get away with fixing the will, but you still don't control the company. You need allies.
Gonna make me an offer, are you, Chris?
I'd rather die than join forces with you.
That's just how your father felt. Come on, Peggy. Cookies.
Morning. I've made us breakfast.
Oh, you didn't need to do that. I don't want to make you late for work.
Oh, don't worry. I thought I'd ask him for tonight off as well. Come over about 6.
I'm not sure that's such a good idea.
Did I do something wrong?
No, of course not.
Then why are you being so cool?
Everything's fine. I just think we should take things more slowly.
Now, I hope you've got me some new dusters, because I left you a note last week. Oh, hello, Sophie. What are you doing here?
Miss in Houghton, she missed her last bus.
You see, how can I be expected to polish anything with that? It's more holy than godly.
Well, just do your best. Would you mind starting in the sitting room?
All right.
I missed my last bus.
Look, I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm just not quite ready for an announcement on Radio Betty yet.
Oh, sorry, Viv. We're not open yet.
Well, that's okay. I just came to talk to you. You taking Alice to school today?
No. I thought it was best to keep her at home under the circumstances.
You're joining the boycott. Great. You want to sign the petition?
Viv, what are you talking about?
Andy, getting a private teacher as a reward for bad behaviour. We're not standing for it.
Look, I don't want to get into all this now. You know, Nick's just been sentenced to 10 years in jail. That's enough for me and Alice to cope with.
But it's Alice you should be thinking about. She's got another 5 years at this school, and every penny they waste on some little tearaway like Andy is one less they spend on her education.
I'm sure you mean well, but we'd just like to be left alone for a bit.
Well, at least sign the petition.
Perhaps I should come and have a word with young Dean.
Oh, I don't think you need to. He was scared enough when you steamed up yesterday. You won't be bothering Emma again. Come on.
Good of you to stick up for us, though, Dad. Never knew you cared.
I've finally done something right by my kids. Must be a record.
Well, if you're feeling that inspired, perhaps you could work your magic on Charlie. She didn't get up at all yesterday.
Morning, Charlie. Hello? Anybody in there?
What's the problem?
I thought we might have a conversation, just for the novelty.
Oh. What about?
Well, it is your 18th birthday next week.
So?
You officially become an adult. Time to start making plans, work out what you're going to do with your life.
Suits me like this. But there's all sorts of opportunities out there for a bright girl like you.
Like what?
I know it's revolutionary, but you could start looking for a job.
Nice try.
I don't want to go to school.
Don't be frightened, Andy. They've got no rights to keep us out.
Can I go in after him? I don't want to miss to see you with him.
We're a family. We all stick together.
I've got more than 60 signatures on this petition to have him taken out of school.
You'll always find plenty of people ready to join a witch hunt. It doesn't prove anything.
There'll be a few kids absent from school today, more tomorrow. How many more is it going to take before you realise this just can't go on?
Andy is entitled to an education, and we're going to make sure he gets one.
Even though it means other kids missing out? Don't you think that's just a little bit selfish?
We're not going to stand here arguing the toss with you, Viv. My kids are going to school, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
It'll be the same tomorrow, and the next week, and we're not going to give up till someone listens.
Come on, Peggy.
Oh, morning.
Morning.
I'm sorry I was late. You're probably wondering where I got to last night.
What you do on your night off's your business, Sophie. Just hope it was worth it. You look wrecked this morning. Just make sure you're on time in future.
Yes, Kim.
Know anything about dogs?
Not really.
I can't get Peggy to eat. Guess I should take her to the vet. So we can rely on Zoe's healing hands.
About next week's board meeting.
I'll be sending out an agenda as soon as possible.
I think Dad's will should be the first item.
It's already been dealt with.
The old version, yes. There somehow must be a more recent one that's got mislaid.
Well, if there was, his solicitor would have known about it.
Would he?
Next week's board meeting's about how this company moves forward. We can't waste time on your paranoid fantasies. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to get Peggy to the vet.
I haven't finished with you yet.
It'll have to wait. Peggy was Frank's most loyal companion. She deserves looking after. Come on, Peggy. Come on.
Surprised the papers are still interested with what's going on at Home Farm. Surely it's time they gave him a bit of peace.
Well, the Tates will always be news round here. I'm grateful for it. Sell more papers that way.
I just wonder how Kim will cope. She's had a bad time the last couple of months.
Oh, don't worry about her. She can look after herself. There's plenty around here that need your help, like our children.
I suppose you're talking about the unfortunate situation with Andy.
I'm talking about our kids getting a raw deal. Our petition's on the counter there. Perhaps you'd like to sign it.
Well, as a member of the Board of Governors, I don't think that would be appropriate.
You're supposed to look after our interests, and we want him out.
I'm sure we don't have to tell Mr. Turner his job, Viv.
Oh, well, what does he care? He doesn't even have kids at the school.
I think you're forgetting my goddaughter, Alice. Complicated situations like this aren't solved by the lynch mob mentality.
Well, nothing physically wrong with her. My guess is she's pining for Dad.
I suppose only time will heal that.
I've got a tonic you can have. I miss him too, Peg.
Life goes on, though, Zoe. You should get out more. Try and enjoy yourself.
I suppose you're right.
Maybe you should take a leaf out of Sophie's book.
What?
My nanny? She was out all night. Can't imagine what she was getting up to.
Mornings and evenings, after meals.
All right, thanks. Still, it's a small village. No doubt I'll be hearing all about it soon. Put these on the slate. Come on, Peggy.
Andy's really concerned about facing a picket line.
Well, it's Robert I'm worried about. Started turning the other kids against him.
Maybe you've taken on too much with Andy. He does seem to attract trouble.
He's just an upset child, Rachel. He's not going to get better without help. And he has a right to an education.
Well, he's not going to get one round here if Viv and her cronies get their way. I'm off down to the cottage. Found some old papers on Carr House. Might encourage the Cairns if they know they've bought an historic building.
Historic or not, it doesn't change the fact that they bought a wreck.
Oh, thanks for putting my mind at ease. I'm nervous enough as it is.
Well, if you're not back by tea time, we'll send in the reinforcements. I'm going to see Pollard this afternoon about a job at the wine bar.
Well, that's a bit of a step down after working with Steve.
But it means I can start Open University, finish my degree.
Have you heard from them?
Yeah, I got an interview tomorrow.
Oh, that's great. Things are really looking up for you. I just wish I could say the same about us and Andy.
Oh, cheers. Look, I'm sorry about Viv giving you GBH at the ear hole, but you know what she's like when she's got a bee in her bonnet.
I just wish you could get her to calm the situation down. It would be better for everyone in the long run.
If it's gone beyond that, she's got a lot of parents on her side.
Blessed are the peacemakers, except in this village. Terry, I'm just popping out for a moment.
Oh, pouring oil on troubled waters?
Just a social call.
Hey, look, have you got a minute first? I'd like to talk to you about the band playing here again.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure.
Why not? We were a smash last time.
Frank died last time.
Can't blame us for that.
Yeah. I'm just checking you're available for a gig at the wine bar, 24th of June.
Yes, boss, huh?
Good. Thought I'd book you before anyone else does.
Cost you a pint. I don't know how she's managed it, but Kim, she thinks the will's put her firmly in the driving seat.
And that's the way it sounds to me, too.
But it doesn't have to be, Steve. You're a director of the company now. Between your shares, mine and Zoe's, well, we can outvote her any time.
I'll bear it in mind.
I hope I can rely on your support.
The only things you can rely on, Chris, are death and taxes.
You're going to side with her?
I don't know. I'll consider the proposals and then decide what's in the best interest of the company. And then I'll see what's in it for me, because that's what really matters.
You Tony Cairns?
Yes? What do you want?
Justice. I'm Dean's dad.
Well, if you've come here to apologise for him, I think it might have been better if he'd come in person.
Apologise? After you put my lad in casualty? I am handing the doctor's report into the police.
All I did was haul him off my boy.
Knew you'd try and lie your way out of it. Lucky I've got independent witnesses that you gave him a beating. 15-year-old child and you an army man. Not going to look good in court, is it?
Your son tried to rape my daughter.
Don't give me that. She was egging him on. Asking for it.
You're the one that's asking for it.
You're already facing an assault charge. And I hope they put you behind bars. It's your wife I feel sorry for. Imagine how she's going to feel when everyone hears about your 13-year-old and the suggestions she made to Dean.
You are an appalling...
What I'll do. I'm a decent sort of bloke. I'd be prepared to let the charges drop. Of course, I'd need a little something to tide me over, cover my expenses.
What are you talking about?
About £1,000 should cover it, I reckon.
Why?
Go on, hit me. Then you'll be facing a double assault charge.
You've got a nerve showing your face round here.
Just go in. See you in court, then.
You know him?
Yeah, that's the creep that tried to rape Zoe.
Please.
I'm sorry I haven't called earlier, but I felt that you needed time to come to terms with your grief.
What makes you think she's grieving? She's laughing. Everything's turned out exactly like she planned it.
That is an appalling thing to say, Chris.
He's just upset because Frank chose to leave the estate in my hands.
No one believes that.
See what I've got to put up with, Alan? I know he's overwrought, but if he wasn't Frank's son, I might have to take action to stop him from spreading vicious rumours.
It is the most natural thing in the world for a husband to want to provide for his wife, Chris.
Don't you understand? He would have liked her dead, and I only wish she was.
I seem to have come at a bad time. I only wanted to say that Frank and I didn't always agree, but we were always friends.
He had a lot of respect for you.
Listen, and I for him. I'm sure you've been left well provided for, but it can't be easy being a widow at your age.
Well, it's good to know some people appreciate that.
But if you want any help, you only have to ask.
Thank you.
Come on. Sophie.
Oh, hi.
Oh, little sweetie.
Yeah, he's asleep.
Has Kim said anything to you?
What about?
Us. She made a couple of remarks in the surgery. Made me think she might have guessed.
Does that worry you?
That would worry both of us if she sacked you.
For what?
She might say you weren't a very suitable person to be looking after her baby.
Well, as long as I keep James happy, I'm doing my job. My private life has got nothing to do with it.
Things are never that simple with Kim. Or Chris.
Are you saying he's found out too?
No, not yet, but he and Kim are shaping up for a major battle, and when that happens, either of them are capable of anything that might swing a board meeting their way.
Well, there's a simple way to stop that sort of blackmail. If it's not a secret, it doesn't matter who they tell.
You'll be into pop music, I suppose?
Yeah, some.
I'm in a couple of bands myself. Our gigs are always sellouts.
It's a bit hard, having to deal with all those groupies.
Well, you get used to it, you know.
Expect it eases off after about 10 p.m. You know, when they have to go home for the cocoa.
Here, get that down you.
Cheers.
You know, I wouldn't let that Adlington get to you. He's a nasty piece of work. We've run him out the village once, and we can do it again if we have to.
He'd welcome a lynch mob. There's something else he could go to the police about if I don't pay up.
I wouldn't give him a penny if I were you.
Don't worry, I won't. I'm not frightened of speaking out in court. It's Becky and Emma I'm worried about.
Well, I still think I'd call his bluff. I don't believe he'd dare go to the police. They know what he's like.
All right, Mum, what are you doing?
Gone to see Kim.
What about?
It's between her and me. It's private.
Yeah, well, as long as you don't go upsetting her. I've got a good thing going here. And besides, she's been good to me since Frank's gone.
Hello, Jan.
Hello, love.
Nice of you to call.
I was hoping you might have time to see me on a personal matter.
Yes, of course. We'll go inside. I'm sure you wouldn't want to miss the opportunity of playing with your grandchild.
No.
We'll take him with us, Sophie, and have a half-hour break.
Okay. Thanks, Mrs. Gray.
Very grown. I know. When was the last time I saw him?
I'll need to see references.
Come on, Eric. I've worked at the Woolpack long enough.
All right. But I won't put up with being messed around. I'm not Alan Turner.
No. I know.
Now, I appreciate you're a single mum and all that, but you'll be on time every night or you're out.
Anything else?
Yeah. You can start tonight.
Great. What about money?
Oh, we'll talk about that later, yeah? Yes.
We've been to the seaside.
Oh, you're a lucky girl and you've managed to get a few presents, I see.
Well, it doesn't do any harm to spoil it once in a while.
No, of course not, especially just at the moment.
Alice, why don't you go and take your new toys up to the flat?
Okay.
I'll be there in a minute to make you tea. Go on, good girl.
Ah, she's a lot brighter than I would have expected.
Well, she's been up and down, still asking a lot of questions about her dad. I've tried to explain it to her, Betty, but she's too young to understand what 10 years in jail really means.
And all the presents in the world aren't going to stop her missing her dad.
He's growing into a lovely little chap. I don't know why you're still calling him my grandson, though. I thought Frank's blood test would put a stop to that.
We both know that Frank had enough money to buy the result he wanted. As far as I'm concerned, James will always be David's child. And you'll always be welcome here to visit him.
Thank you. I'd always hoped that were the truth.
But that's not what you came about.
It's a rather delicate matter. I don't know how much you know about this, but before he died, Frank told us we could live at the farm rent-free for a year.
Oh, it's the first I've heard of it.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that the arrangement would carry on now that you're in charge.
Well, it depends why it was put in place. I mean, it's unusual for Frank to give something for nothing.
It was to keep us quiet.
About what?
Chris bothering our Linda.
You mean he was sexually harassing her?
He made her life a misery. Ned was ready to kill him.
And Frank was happy to hush him up.
Well, you probably think the worst of us for taking the money, but if Ned and Biff had gone after him, well, they'd have been in trouble. And if it got to court, well, Linda would have been even more upset. So
you've got nothing to blame yourself for, Jan. I'm just glad you brought it to my attention.
When will tea be ready? About half an hour? I'm going upstairs to start my homework. I've got loads.
Will, leave those biscuits alone. I want you to eat a decent meal tonight.
Oh, if I'm going to get a lecture on nutrition, I want to start my homework as well.
Hang on. How was it at school today? Was Em all right?
Fine, yeah. Dean and his mates kept well clear.
Look who I found outside the Woolpack.
Charlie, I don't know what you're doing loafing round the pub all day. Thought you were going to look for a job.
I need to do some research first, you know. Find out which areas I'm particularly interested in.
Well, I don't know what you're going to learn from the Woolpack, unless you're thinking of becoming a barmaid, and you need to be 18 for that.
Keep my options open. Oh, and I had an in-depth discussion on the state of the pot business with Zach Dingle. Who knows where it might lead?
Will says Dean and his mates are leaving Emma alone now, so maybe that's the last we'll hear of that.
I don't think so. We had a visit from his father today. He tried to make out I'd assaulted Dean.
That's ridiculous. You didn't really hit him hard, did you, Tony?
I just threw him off Will. He might have landed a bit awkwardly. He deserved a lot more than that for what he did to Emma.
Is he threatening to go to the police?
Yes, but that's not really what he wants. He's asking for £1,000 to keep quiet.
What?
And an orange juice for Roy, please.
No, I'm not kidding no more, you know.
We won't want Terry getting into trouble for allowing underage drinking.
Well, it's nice to see that there's still some responsible parents around. That'll be £1.40, please, Jim.
You still haven't said what you're doing down at home farm, anyway.
I told you it was private.
Oh, well, there seems to be a lot of secrets going on at the moment. Not to do about Biff and Linda, is it?
No. Why do you think that?
Well, there's a lot of whispering corners going on at the moment. Don't know so much going on. When am I going to find out about it?
Believe me, Roy, there are some things it's best not to know.
Thanks.
I noticed you were talking to Christopher earlier.
Yeah, we had some business to sort out.
He and Kim seem to be at loggerheads again.
Nothing unusual in that.
Well, I was rather hoping that they would bury their differences and pull together now that Frank's dead. Be good for them and for the village. The home farm's a major employer around here. All this uncertainty doesn't help anyone.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see who comes out on top.
If you're searching for another will, you're out of luck.
Because you've destroyed it?
Because it never existed.
I'm not going to sit back here and let you take everything that should be mine.
Face it, Chris. You haven't got the guts or the brains to do anything else apart from loaf around here sponging.
Don't underestimate me, Kim.
Impossible. You're nothing without Frank. He was always bailing you out one way or another. Like with Linda.
What are you talking about?
You molested her, and Frank bought her silence. Well, there's no one left to get you out of trouble next time, Chris. And if you get in my way, I'm going to crush you like...
Like what? Like my father? That's what you were going to say, wasn't it? I knew you planned all this. When I proved it, you're the one that's finished, Kim.
I just think we should be more careful.
So you don't want to go out tonight?
Going out's fine. There's a folk club in Houghton I quite like.
And it's safe because no one will know us?
Sophie, it's you I'm thinking about. Your job, your friends. We need to take it slowly. And it might be best if I dropped you at home afterwards.
So you don't want me staying over again? Well, this is shaping up to be the shortest romance on record.
Where are you going?
Home farm. You told me to think about all this, but you're the one that needs to do that. I've made up my mind. I want to be with you. I don't care who knows. Well, when you can say the same, give me a ring.
It would have taken a lot of planning, wouldn't it? Getting Frank arrested for a murder he didn't commit. I suppose you think I expected him to die in jail with his heart condition?
Is that what you engineered?
You tell me. You're playing detective. Do you think that's why I came back? To finish him off? And steal your inheritance? Mustn't forget that, must we? Because that's where I think you should start to worry. Because if I was that ruthless, you'd be easy to deal with. Just another accident, Chris. You'd never know what hit you.